It's an interesting start. We got down fairly quick, obviously in the first, and down 3 runs, and then gave up a run in the second as well, and then figured out a way to stop that. And I thought our bats really improved. Thought we ran the bases extremely well, like a championship team here tonight, scoring twice from second base on sac flies. So I guess one was a sac fly and one was a base hit. So base hit that we shouldn't probably have scored. Excellent job there. These games are hard in this league, and anybody's capable of winning any game here if you don't play your very best. And I thought that Ellis wasn't sharp. The speed, the velo was good all night. Just wasn't locating much, and when you don't locate, you get hit. So credit her for coming back. Thought she did very well, and credit our bats and just the mentality of the whole night.
How do you see Miranda respond to a situation like that where she gives up early home runs both on offense and defense? What did you think of her response?
Well, she's been there. She's given up runs. Before, as good as she's been, she's given up runs. It's just normal stuff, and I'm proud of her. The way she just continues to bounce back. I just talked to our team, and she had 5 RBIs, and I didn't even talk about that. I missed that. I just thought about that now, and what I was proud of her about is she didn't let it bother her offense. She had the big home run that really got her going. You can kind of see we feed off of her. We feed off of her emotion, and sometimes it's weird. It takes her a moment to get the emotion of the game and that kind of stuff. And when she does, it's like she can take the world over. And so this is good to see. She handled it well.
She's had a few games earlier this year where she gets hit a little bit early and then is lights out the last 5 innings. It seems like. Is that something that plays into it? That emotion?
Yeah, because I don't feel like she comes out with the first pitch and with that I'm going to strike you out mentality and pumping her fist. And you see she had a strikeout, I think, in the 3rd or 4th, and she's screaming, and I'm like, okay. She's going. And, I got to do a better job as a coach of getting that going from the first pitch. But she's an emotional kid, and she plays with that, and she knows how to control it, which is unique. Most kids, when they get like that, they're a mess. And she can get a tear in her eye and wipe it out and just take a breath and go. It's wild. It's wild to see.
Not the first time you've done it this year, but what went to starting her tonight instead of Kelly?
I don't know. We just kind of look at the staff and want to try to keep their innings fresh. I got to find a way to get Morgan Day in these games too. It's we're a 3-headed monster. We're not 2, even though you see those 2 more. But we're just trying to keep their innings even, because we're trying to win at the end and want these guys fresh. And so that's kind of what the thought is.
We see the brace or whatever it is on Kylie. Kind of what is she going through?
She tweaked her back in pregame. She hit the whole time, was fine. Went out to take ground balls and made a throw and kind of tweaked her back. So I just erring on the side of caution. It's scary when your leader of your infield is not out there. But Sydney, just proud of her for the way she goes out to short and just makes plays. And Carly jumps right in here and turns the double play and almost makes another great play that she had to run across the field. So we constantly work these kids in different spots for this. And when I saw Kylie go down, I immediately in VP, I moved Carly to 3rd and didn't tell her why yet. I moved Sid to short. She kind of looked at me weird, and I was like, just take some balls there. And if you know that kind of stuff, up front, it can really help. You got a lot of talented kids that can play a lot of spots, so it's what makes this team great.
Go ahead.
You had those big reviews at the end of the 3rd and then 4th. The ability to review those plays, is that something you think about, pay attention to? How important is that?
It's important. Unfortunately, and I say this in all honesty, the replay went down on the second one, and I'm not so sure it wouldn't have got overturned. I thought it was close, and I just wasn't sure. On the first one, I didn't think it was a close play. I knew we'd get it down on that next one. I was like, oh gosh. And they came back, and the reason they didn't give a call is because the replay blanked out. So I guess my button in the dugout works. So.
you've had Carly a lot of different places.
Yeah.
First of all, how much have you actually seen her at third before tonight?
I've seen her a ton at third.
Really?
This kid's a freak. Like, she can play anywhere. She can play outfield. She can play third. She can play second base. She's played first. We had her catching in the fall because we were hurt. We were banged up, and I felt good enough for her to catch. And that's what I've tried to explain to her the whole fall. It's not easy. It's not easy. But I said, hey, I can play you anywhere, and I will. At that, just like that. And so, just credit her. I mean, just doing her deal, and I'm just I'm happy for her because she's all about this place, and she works hard. She gives us everything every day, and it's cool to see kids just come up big.
And it's obviously still important to have her bat in the lineup. That's really
yeah.
important.
I mean, she's a kid that the more bats that she gets, the better that she goes. So that was a big deal for her tonight. She had that great at bat in the third at bat. Hit that ball hard. You know, and I'll take all those lefty bats that I can get.
We talked to Haley earlier this week about moving to first base. What do you think of kind of how she's fitting into that role?
Just fine. Yeah, she's just fine. She's like the same way. She's pretty talented, so she can play anywhere. And we've got a lot of good softball players. And so when you're a softball player and you know the game, you can do some things. And I can play her in the outfield. I can play her at third if I had to. So she wouldn't want it and like it, but she can play third too. So
Maybe one more for Coach. All good.